Good afternoon to all of you. Students, in this video I am going to discuss some important questions which has been asked regularly in your previous year's question paper. So just see this for 1 mark question. How many d electrons are in chromium? So student, we know what is the atomic number of chromium. It is our 24. So when we will write the electronic configuration, so we can write for the argon. We know the atomic number of argon is 18. So 18 and your 4 is 18 and 4 कितना हुआ आपका 22, 22 plus 2 24. So we can just directly write argon 3d4 4s2. So but we know that this is the unstable configuration, means as we know that if the d subshell have 10 electrons, so if it will be stable either when there are 5 or 10. So we will promote one electron from s to d, so it will be 3d5 4s1 will be the correct configuration of the chromium. And so how many d electrons are in there in chromium? So we can write there are 5 d electrons are there in the chromium. So it's your 1 mark question. Now next question, which transition element of the second group have maximum oxidation state? So this is a bit confusing question. They have asked you which transition element of the second group. So if we see the periodic table, so we know that our periodic table starts from the scandium, and this series have the 10 members. Similarly, yttrium, lanthanum line also have the 10 members. So if we see the transition elements, so this scandium will be considered as the first group. When we are writing the periodic classification, then it will come to our third, fourth, like that, or so. But when they are saying the transition element group, so this is the scandium line is the first transition series, or first transition element group, and titanium, zirconium, hafnium, rutherfordium is the second transition group. So there are 10, we can say 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. So the question is, which transition element of the second group have the maximum oxidation state? So don't get confused here. So the second group of the transition element is titanium, zirconium, hafnium and rutherfordium. So when we see the oxidation state, so they can have +2, +3 and +4. But in 4 of these elements, the maximum number of oxidation states are in our titanium. So if they are asking you which element have the maximum number of oxidation state, they have not given the maximum number. They have just asked which element have the of the second group have the maximum oxidation state. So titanium have the 3 oxidation state, that is +2, +3 and +4. So you can go with the titanium because highest oxidation state is +4 in this group, but the maximum number of the oxidation states are possessed by the titanium. So you can write the titanium has 3 oxidation states, +2, +3 and +4, but the maximum oxidation state in the group is +4. So next question, give the electronic configuration of the manganese, copper and gold. So student, you have to remember the atomic number of manganese is 25. So when we write the configuration, we will just write 18 electron of our argon in the core, and we will write 3d5 4s2. So it's very simple, as we discussed in our class also. What is the code of this series? Scooty when car में फेंको नहीं कूड़ा zinc. So when it comes to here manganese, it's 25, and the simple way to write the configuration is 3d5 4s2. It's 25, so 5 electron will come here, it will be 3d5 4s2. So it's easy answer, you can write it. And now next is the configuration of our copper. So you have to remember the atomic number of gold. So how you will remember this line? As we know, copper belongs to which group? In the gold belongs to this copper group. So here you can see copper, it's 29. So what is the configuration of copper here? It's our argon 3d10 4s1, and our silver, it is our 4d10 5s1. So definitely for our gold, when we will talk, it will come our, this is 3d10, this is 4d10, it will be 5d10 6s1. So this is the one way to learn the how, if we don't know the atomic number, we forget the atomic number, so what you will write? So you have to relate where it is present in the periodic table. So you can see it is present after silver. What is atomic number of the silver? It's 47, and here gold, the atomic number is 79, and we are writing in the core for the xenon atomic number is our 54. So we will write 54 electrons in the bracket, and as this our gold belongs to our here we see the fourth, our f orbitals starts here, f shell starts here. So in the gold 4f14 electrons will be occupied in the f subshell. So just you can see the configuration of the gold will be xenon in the core, 4f14, 5d10 and 6s1. I hope you can write it down and prepare for the exams. Now next is Cu2 plus is more stable than Cu plus. Explain. Means our, if we see the ion, so Cu2 plus and Cu plus, so we know that the Cu2 plus is having more charge and Cu plus is having the less charge. So we, for the Cu2 plus we are saying cupric ion, and Cu plus we are saying the cuprous ion. Here when we are writing the configuration of the copper, so how we will write the configuration of the copper? We know the atomic number is 29. So either we can write like this, 1s2 2s2 2p6 3s2 3p6, or either we can write in the core for our argon. So 18 electron will be packed. Then we can write 3d9 4s2 and dc. When we are writing the electronic configuration of the d, it is a trick na. If it is 29, so it will come directly 3d9 4s2. If it is 25, we have written 3d5 4s2. So here we will write 3d9 4s2, but we know that we are shifting one electron, as this is a stable configuration. 3d10 4s 1 is the stable configuration of the copper. So we are writing as 1s2 2s2 2p6 3s2 3p6 3d10 4s1 is the stable configuration. Now this is for the copper atom. So it is given Cu2 plus, means we have to remove 2 electrons. So for the 2 plus configuration, 1 electron will be removed from your 4s1. 4s1 is removed, and 1 electron from the D. So it will be your 3d9. So when we talk about Cu plus, means there is only loss of 1 electron. So we will remove only our 4s 1 electron. Now we have to compare which is more stable and which is less stable. So when we see the electronic configuration, our this 3d10 seems to be more stable, as our D subshell has the capacity of the 10 electrons, so it is fulfilled here. But our Cu2 plus ion, cupric ion, is more stable. Why? Because of the two reason. We know that our hydration energy and the lattice energy of our Cu2 plus ion is more, so they are more stable in comparison to our Cu plus. Why they have the high hydration energy and lattice energy? Because as it lose 2 electron, so the size will be smaller, and as they have the higher charge, means 2 plus is more charge, and small size, they will have more hydration energy and lattice energy. So our Cu2 plus ion carry the higher charge and small size, so that will be more stable in comparison to our Cu plus 1 ion. This is also a very important question for your exam. It can come either in the 1 mark or the 2 mark question. So next question. The first ionization energy of mercury is higher than that of the cadmium. Why? So again here we have to first see the configuration. So just you see the periodic table, which group it belongs. Zinc, cadmium and mercury lie in the same group. So here our atomic number of cadmium is 48. The configuration will be krypton 36, 4d10, 5s2. And for our mercury, it will be 80 electrons. So as we know that this our f orbitals start here filling. So if it will be 4f14, 5d10, 6s2. In core we will write the xenon, because the atomic number of xenon is 54. So it's 54, then 14 electrons of f subshells, 10, and our 6s2. So configuration is 5d10, 6s2. Both are stable now. Our cadmium, you can see it is having 4d10. It is also 5d10 and 6s2, because we know that they are having the complete share electrons. So means they are stable configurations, they cannot lose the electron very easily. So all these compounds are colorless, they appear. Why? Because they don't have any unpaired electron. So but what we can say, that to explain the reason what the first ionization energy of mercury is higher than that of cadmium, why? So what is ionization energy? We know that what if we want to remove one electron from the outermost shell, so that energy is known as ionization energy. But if the our four in the case of our mercury, the 4f orbitals are involved here, so they cause the poor shielding effect, and this increases the effective nuclear charge. Means the shielding, as we know that you don't write in this answer, see the shape of the f orbitals are diffused, means that is much complicated. So these 4f orbitals, they cause the poor shielding effect. So as a result of this, the effective nuclear charge on the outer valence electrons increases. Means because of the presence of the 4f electrons in our mercury, they cause the poor shielding effect, so they increase the effective nuclear charge. Means nuclear charge increase हो रहा है. If the nuclear charge increase, so the electrons will be more attached to the our proton, our nucleus, so there are more attractions. So because there is more attraction between the nucleus and the electron, it is tough to drag the electron from the outermost shell. So as a result of this, it is very tough to take the electron from, more energy is required to take electron from mercury. That's why the first ionization potential of our mercury is higher in comparison to the cadmium, as there is no f orbitals in our cadmium. So the comparison to cadmium and mercury, our mercury, the more first ionization energy is more in comparing to the cadmium. So these are some questions, so just you write and do prepare for your exams. Thanks for watching.